Hello there, everyone. I'm Mark Dempsey, and I just want to tell you there's always a good story to tell. There's always something to talk about. And I just want to tell you about this story in Dallas, Texas that caught my eye. And what it's about a crazy Coca-Cola executive just doing the most bizarre thing I've ever heard of. And I just want to let you know about it. So the next time you take a Coke, next time you have a Coke, just remember, it could cause crazy behavior. You just never know what can happen if you start drinking that stuff. If I were you, I would be safe. I would drink Pepsi, okay? Anyway, here's the story. This Coca-Cola executive, he's the vice president of the South region for Coca-Cola. He thought it would be a great idea to give underprivileged inner city kids free rings. Well, that's not a bad idea. I mean, that'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it, get a free ring? But on the ring, there's a Greek saying. Yeah, it's in Greek, all right? And it says, I am not my own. I am not my own. Imagine that. Imagine giving a kid a ring and explaining to him or her, hey, listen, you're just not your own. You're not yourself. You're not an individual. I mean, you're owned by somebody else. You got other people looking at you. Talk about an erosion of a self-identity. Talk about an erosion of self-respect. Now, these are poor kids in Dallas. Now, do you honestly believe that middle-class suburban kids or rich kids wear rings that say, I'm not my own? Hey, imagine a child coming home to his parents from school and saying, hey, Mom and Daddy, look what I got. I've got a ring that says, I'm not my own. I'm not my own. Hey, listen, you got a Coke there on you? God, I like to have a Coke, yeah. So imagine, just imagine what this does to kids. They have a leash on. They have a constant reminder that they're not their own. What kind of craziness is that? And so I just want to read you here a little bit about what Crazy John from Coca-Cola has to say. I'm not my own is a powerful concept that has the power to change our culture. Crazy John, vice president of the South region for Coca-Cola North America, told the students, at the base of this idea is adopting a new way of looking at life from the perspective of how individuals can have a greater impact on others. Well, my goodness. Now, I'm just trying to think. Now, does John have a ring? Does Crazy John walk into the executive suite of Coca-Cola in Dallas, Texas, wearing his I'm not my own ring? Does he have a ring? I don't think so. Last I checked, he didn't have a ring. It doesn't say here he had a ring. So what does John have to say? It means that everything you do has an effect on others, as well as on you. Really? Before you act or speak, ask yourself two questions. How will this affect me? And how will it affect others? Well, my gosh, John, I mean, imagine that. Imagine every single decision that you make. How will this affect me? And how will it affect others? Well, I just wanted to call up Crazy John. Well, I didn't have his phone number, but in an article in the Dallas Business Journal that I happened to find on the internet, there was his email address. And so I emailed him. And I wanted to talk to him about this. I wanted to ask him some other questions too, exactly about what Coca-Cola does to help kids instead of just preparing them to swill their drink for a lifetime. And he didn't respond to me. Didn't get an answer. Didn't want to talk about this, you see. But I guess he's still thinking about it because he says right here, he says, before you act or speak, ask yourself two questions. How will this affect me? And how will this affect others? Now, he's probably still staring at my email thinking, how will this affect me? How will this affect others? I'm an executive. I mean, this is how I make decisions every day. I mean, I sit and think about how will it affect me and how will it affect others? Now, should I get that cup of coffee? How will it affect me? How will it affect others? Gee, should I turn on the radio? How will it affect me? How will it affect others? I'm just really not sure. I just really don't know. But don't worry about it, though, because I've got my ring right here. Yes, sirree. I am not my own. I am not my own. I am Crazy John. Crazy John, executive for Coca-Cola in Dallas, Texas. And that's the most deplorable story I think I have ever heard of an executive of a Fortune 500 company giving out rings to kids to say, that they're not their own and they're poor kids. Would he have done that with middle-class kids and rich kids? They would have laughed him right out of the box, and they should. Because you see, every child is an individual. Every child is their own person, and they should act that way, and they should be treated that way, not the property of others. And you don't have to wear a ring or a leash to be reminded of that. Okay? And this is what happens when we get crazy executives from Fortune 500 companies getting in the business of managing children, especially poor children, that deserve better than Crazy John at Coca-Cola. Now, I don't have a Coke with me. I just have some coffee. But at lunchtime today, in protest for this story, I'm going to go out and have a Pepsi. How about you? My name is Mark Dempsey. I'm an author and journalist. And you can contact me if you like at markd112@yahoo.com, markd112@yahoo.com. And thanks so much for listening. Have a good day and get that Pepsi.